Speaking of Japan, we're going to be covering two stories. One talking about some of the social cohesion that Japan exhibits, and then another one talking about some of the very real problems. You know, I think a lot of times people glaze Japan, they make it sound like the perfect country.
Last Wednesday, Japan's Internal Affairs Ministry published new data showing that the number of Japanese nationals fell by over 900,000 people in 2024, the biggest annual drop on record, marking the 16th consecutive year that the Japanese population has fallen. This was due to a record low number of births, around 690,000, and a record high number of deaths, nearly 1.6 million. This year also heralds Japan's 2025 problem, marking the year when all of Japan's roughly 8 million baby boomers will be 75 or older.
That's a lot of old geezers.
Already that you don't really accept immigrants. Even though that's not entirely true, it's still true by and large for the most part. So they're losing almost 1 million people a year. That's crazy.
This high death rate is due to the size of Japan's elderly population, aged 65 plus, which has increased every year between 1994 and 2022, and now accounts for nearly 30% of the total population.
I can tell you that shit's real too, because when I was there, seeing kids was pretty rare. Seeing old people was super common. And I was running through like residential neighborhoods because where we had the Airbnb was just Japanese. There was no fucking Gaijins. So when I was walking around, all I saw were I didn't see no young folks. Below the age of like 14, pretty much never.
God,
it was like seeing a rare Pokemon. I want these captured. Be like, are you real?
He wants to capture kids. Someone called the police.
You know, me and Giovanni Somali, we just do whatever we want when we abroad.
God damn.
While Japan's elderly population is among the healthiest in the world,
and they don't want to die.
On the other hand, they do work longer too.
Anyway, to address this population decline, successive Japanese governments have tried and failed to reverse it through various childcare-based initiatives to encourage more people to have children. So in 2023, Prime Minister Fumio Kishida's government increased annual childcare spending to around 3.5 trillion yen, or $25 billion US. Overall, the scheme is designed to offer increased benefits to parents. Specifically, it extends coverage for children from 15 to 18, doubles the monthly allowance for a third or subsequent child, expands parental leave and daycare facilities, and scraps the household income cap for the allowance, so that children are eligible regardless of their parents' employment status.
God damn.
There's a bunch of Middle Eastern families being like, perfect. Let us in.
What a Japanese.
Instead of fucking hijab, all of a sudden they have that straw hat. It's just funny, like, they're essentially being like, bitch, just pop out a baby, we gonna pay your ass.
Yo,
hey, just 3 or more, hey, take all this cash. And people are still like, nah, we don't want kids. That's how cooked we are.
There are also social factors preventing Japanese women from having children, such as a demanding work culture, falling marriage rate, and paternalistic traditions, which discourage single-parent families, with just 2.4% of Japanese babies born outside of marriage, compared to around 40% in the US and Europe.
You know what I love about this? You know what I love about this?
What?
Is it just goes to show you, people always praise foreign cultures, but don't know the negative aspects of them. Mm-hmm. They don't know the realities. Like, you know, people, single parent household, and yes, the problem, you ideally want people married and in real relations when they're having kids, but it's also fascinating because you're looking at another country that's literally just dying. Like, it will cease to exist in the next 50, because like the economy will collapse if they don't make a drastic change. Yeah. And people are like, well, it's because it's unaffordable. Even when it is affordable, a lot of people not trying to have kids because our values have just changed in the Western world. People want to travel, they want to go on cruises, they want to live a life, and they prioritize over having kids. And like, when you ask people to really choose, oftentimes they choose themselves, they choose their own life.
It's like my parents, you know, they started, when they were retired, they started to do cruises and stuff like that. Yeah. Shit, I want to do cruises too, but when I got my knees. Yeah. When I still got my knees, I want to be able to walk around. And I want to be able to be in a good health and be like, you know. So we try to do it younger than they do. Yeah. My parents looking at me like, oh, when I was your kid, when I was your age, I had this, I had that, but we're not going out. Okay, well, I'm going out. Mm-hmm. I'm outside. Mm-hmm. But at your age, I don't care.
It's one of those things because people often lament immigration and they shit on it. And I understand, because it's not like immigration doesn't come with real sets of problems that might destroy social cohesion and create enclaves, create communities that really don't align. Yeah, but the other side of that is like also, you know, it's funny, even my generation, which is like our parents are the ones who immigrated, were the kids of those. Even we now act like the indigenous population or the locals. I say indigenous, not meaning the Native American, but like just like the white folks, right? We also aren't having kids the way immigrants having kids. No. So you realize it's not about necessarily race or whatever. It's just a lot of it's cultural. And because we've acclimated to North American culture so much and assimilated a lot of those values, we don't be having kids as much either. As society's become more advanced, more egalitarian, more economically advanced, people prioritize a lot less having children in that regards. More educated you are, less kids. More money you make, less kids. That's probably one of the most surprising parts, because people often say when I have enough money, you know what they found? You make less kids with each income bracket and tax bracket you get to until you get to about 300K, and all of a sudden the kids double. And supposedly the theory is at that point kids become an accessory, like a purse. So you just get one, just like whatever, and you pay a nanny to take care of the shit.
Got a dog and a kid.
But that fast, I thought niggas at 150K would be popping out babies. No. How much more you need? 150K extra apparently.
At Japan's House of Councillors election last month, the right-wing ultra-nationalist Sansito Party, which was founded in 2020 and ran on a MAGA-style anti-immigration Japanese First campaign, ended up winning 12.6% of the national vote, the third highest share, outperforming the polls. For context, the party focuses heavily on immigration. They want to make it harder for foreigners to buy land in Japan, deny foreigners voting rights, and reduce the influx of foreign workers. On top of that, Sansito also has traditionalist views on gender. The party opposes same-sex marriage and women being able to keep their maiden name, and argues that Japan's imperial succession should be limited to the male line. The party's leader has also said that young women are too focused on having a career and instead should stay at home to raise children.
So that's the situation over there. A lot of wild stuff. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to watch the rest of the video. But I think that oftentimes, especially when we look at our own country situation, our own governments, we're very hypercritical, which I understand. It's always good to be critical. And then we sometimes admire other models in the world and say, this is the one that works, not recognizing you just oftentimes don't know the nuances of the problems that they're dealing with. And sometimes you think you'd trade with them, but you don't know if you would. The reality over there is drastically different than what you might expect. And their levels of uncertainty going forward are also very large. So what is the solution? I don't know. You know, that's why people get paid the big bucks. But I did think it was interesting learning about this because it made me grateful for some of the problems that we have over here. Yes, they're not great.
Grateful for some of the problems?
Yeah, because I wouldn't trade our problems for theirs.
No, I wouldn't.
Because if you think about the tax burden that's going to be, the way that's going to weigh down the economy, having to pay out those social benefits to all those. We have it here, but not to the same degree.
No, because there's less people.
Yeah, and our old people die. They know how to just fucking leave.
Yeah. They don't just overstay their welcome.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we waiting for the inheritance, Grandpa.
Let me go to the gym.
Hey, boomers, you fucked us over once with the fucking housing.
Exactly.
Let's go. Just some things. It's funny to hear the conservative party being like Japan first and all this other stuff, and like the women are still like, we don't want to have kids.
We don't. Yeah.
Like, what y'all gonna do? If you know a lot of these immigrants, at some point you guys just get accept things gotta change. You know what I mean?
Like, you don't want them. Do you want to fuck? No.
And that's the immigration paradox. People hate immigrants and how they change societies, but they don't have kids themselves. They say they don't have kids because of money, but statistics show even when they get money, they have 1.5 kids, which means like the average couple goes from anywhere from 3 to 1. If 2 people only have 2 kids, that's not what the numbers even say.
4 people,
But 2 people having 2 kids is not enough. Because you 2 old people die, and there's only 2 kids left behind, and God forbid some of these kids are also gonna die. So it's just like
that's why at the point I think that right now it's if 2 couples have one, like it doesn't even equal to a whole kid.
No.
2 kids. Like for some years we were under 1.
Yeah.
That each couple were getting, so we're not even at 1. Each family don't even have a full ass kid.
No.
So yeah, we're doing as well. We feel it right now.
But people say there's too many people on the planet anyways. But the problem now is there's gonna be too many old people.
Yes.
And old niggas don't party. It's just like, what am I gonna do with my time?
But you have a bunch of girls though.
Older ladies?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I heard they be fucking
yes.
like herpes just spread everywhere in retirement homes.
There was a
Yeah. They just like remove their gum and give toothless.
Oh, gummy worm? Let's go.
They call it a gummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's trying to get a gummer from Agnes? If it's like Agnes giving you a gummer, you know she's been putting in that work.
Her name is Agnes.
That's a nasty name. Both figuratively and literally.
That's not nasty.
That's nasty.
That's not nasty.
If you name your daughter Agnes, you don't like that bitch. So this thing happened in Japan that I thought was fascinating. So Japan has toll systems because obviously driving is too burdensome. So they've really invested in their public transport. People take subway, trains everywhere. It's very, very efficient. And so for people who do want to drive, they have toll systems to basically de-incentivize them. They pay a certain amount based off how far they are and how many tolls they go through. So Japan's toll system ended up crashing. 38-hour glitch led to like thousands of people being told to just run through the toll booths. Why? Because they couldn't charge them and they didn't want to shut down traffic. So they're just like, fuck it, just go. And for 38 hours, people were just running. And they make a lot of money from those toll booths. Thousands of Japanese drivers voluntarily paid the highway toll fees even after the system went down, and no one was required to. When Japan's electronic tolls collection system suffered a massive outage earlier this year, what followed caught the attention of the global public and online communities alike. This real-life incident revealed much about Japan's societal values, high trust culture, and government response in terms of system failure. Over 24,000 Japanese drivers voluntarily paid toll fees after the country's ETC system crashed.
Oh yeah, that's the.
They voluntarily went out. Like, nobody was going to track them. No one's going to find out, but they still chose to pay.
Yeah, that's Japan for you.
And
They have stores that have no clerks.
yeah, and people don't rob the whole thing. Crazy, right?
I think that in the culture of Japan, that's what happens. But also, I feel like when you step to Japan, you can feel, and I feel like people like feel like they know where their money is going when they give it to the government. So I think there is a trust that is higher with the government. Because like if I pay my toll, I know what they're gonna do with that money. I've seen what they've been doing with the money, so I know what I'm contributing to. Whereas here, if you do the same experiment here, I don't think that people would have paid.
Yeah.
It wouldn't happen. But we don't have the same trust in the government what you're gonna do with the money anyways.
Here, honestly, if this shit happened, 0% is paid.
No. That's what I'm saying.
We see all of these things as barriers and impediments and annoyances that don't actually serve anything other than the government itself.
We don't see really the result either.
Yeah.
And we see that it's really not well spent. So people will be like, whatever, you're good.
And
you already got all the money and you're doing nothing with it.
like just seeing people, okay, this is something I already do because my family, the way we're raised, we do this. But when I go to restaurants or fast food joints, you finish the food, everyone goes and loads their tray and cleans up after themselves.
Yeah.
Nobody leaves it there. Here, it's completely the opposite. When I went to a movie theater in Japan, I went to this nice movie theater, we left, everyone grabs their popcorn, they clean up after themselves, they go up, there's two people waiting, you hand them everything, they throw it in the trash. I've watched so many videos of people in North America where after a movie premiere is done, they gotta scoop out fucking bags of popcorn and all the fucking gunk and shit that people just leave everywhere.
And they just resell that as caramel popcorn. Profits.
There you go. So I say all this. There's a lot of little things like that in terms of social cohesion that are only possible probably because of like the way their values and also because of the fact that they're all from the same background. That probably helps out to a degree. I go to the subway, it's rush hour. Literally nobody talks. It is quiet. It is like freaky. I'm already somebody who in public, shh. Them niggas like rip out their vocal cords or something. I took a video at one point. I was just like,
Somebody
you get on the train and then you hear somebody talk and it's just a foreigner. It's like, hey, shut the fuck up. You're making us look stupid. Shut your mouth. Because for them, you shouldn't inconvenience other people when you're on these spaces. I didn't hear Japanese until it was evening time and then niggas is drunk. Now they loud. But during the day, they shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Freaks comes out at night.
In a lot of ways, Japan is still a very socially isolated country where people just mind their business and stay to themselves. Like when you're on there, everybody got their phone out, they all staring at their shit, they mind their business. So that's the dark side of it. It's like you don't want to inconvenience people so much, you don't even talk to your friend right beside you.
That's wonderful.
That's a bit a lot. That's wonderful.
Yeah, there's a lot of schoolgirls.
Good. They should socialize. That's good for them.
No, not in public transport. Shut up. Here, you take the bus at 3:30. God damn, these kids won't shut up. They don't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know how I know? I was one of them.
You know what? That's a good question. What do you guys think? You guys think it's good? What Preach saying or what I'm saying? No. You know, which one would you guys agree with?
Socializing apart.
Okay, gotcha. All this to say, I think these two stories highlight both some of the problems that exist in that society that people, claim is the perfect place, and also some of the upsides to how they decide to manage their society. And some of the things I thought were really cool. Boom.